Okay, this is stop number 15, the Daniel Davis Wheatfield. Here it is. This is a very important area of the battle. In the second day, at 8 o'clock in the morning, some bad things happened here. This is where the Union Army came in and advanced against the Confederates. Right here. Pretty bad battle here. And I just found out that Mary Todd Lincoln's half-brother got killed here. He fought for the Confederacy. So that's interesting too. So here is the storyboard about this area. So we are here. Okay, I have to redo this because I screwed up. I wasn't aiming the camera right when I talked about the storyboard. But anyway, here we are, right here. This is the Wheatfield. Buell's over here, the Union Army. Beauregard over here, Confederate Army. They say this happened between 8 and 10 a.m. The battle in this Wheatfield. A lot of guys got killed, including Mary Todd Lincoln's half-brother. Then over here they have some cannon. They have a marker for the Army of Ohio, that yellow marker right there in front of us. So this is stop 15. Very important. This is the first important aspect of day 2, right here. Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay, this is stop number 16. It's where they had a field hospital located. Here's an apple orchard, Larkin Bell. There's an Ohio monument over there. And this is a big field here. It's the first time they set up field hospitals and tents during the Civil War. And it helped save lives. This is General Stewart's monument. Remember, this is his headquarters right here, Army of Tennessee. Erected in 1882. So this is where the field hospital was. Wow. So while they're having a battle, they set up hospitals right in the field. Now the storyboard here talks about the Confederates' offense stalls. Here's where we are. There's a hospital here as they got it. And here's General Stewart's men, 1900. So this actually happened on Sunday, the 6th, at 11 a.m. And my turnaround this way, this storyboard talks about the field hospital. Thousands wounded. Over 16,420 wounded men. Look at, isn't that something? Dr. Bernard Irwin learned from his experience in Shiloh how to triage in the field rather than transporting the wounded, resulted in better patient response to treatment and saved more lives. And this is how they set up the field hospitals, right there. So that's interesting. The first field hospitals in the Civil War were right here. The surgeons had their hands full of a lot of blood. Okay, we're going to move on to next stop. Okay, we're at stop 17. This is Johnston's monument. General Johnston died right here. He was rallying his men on that first day. They almost had to win. He told them, "We must conquer or perish today." And he's rallying his men on his horse. And suddenly he fell. They grabbed him and put him down a ravine down here, right straight ahead. He was in this ravine. And within 15 minutes, they said he died. And they didn't find a wound on him. They couldn't find where he'd been shot. And then after he died, they found he got shot in the back of his leg by his knee, and it severed what seems to be his popliteal artery. And he bled to death quickly. That's a big artery. This was the first day, the 6th, at about 2:30 p.m. Here's the storyboard with a rendition of his death. Very famous general. Lee said it was his best general in the whole Confederate Army. And I think this changed the battle. I think the Confederates lost their motivation when he died. And it kind of went downhill after this. Here's a view of the field looking to our, I think this is north here. So this is stop 17 where he died. I wonder if I should walk down there and see if I could find a marker. Let me walk down there. We'll see. I'm gonna go down there and see. Okay, I'm walking down this path. Actually, they have a path here with steps. So I think a lot of people came down here to this spot down in this ravine. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, you're seeing it when I'm seeing it. This might be the marker right here. Oh, there's nothing here. The marker's gone. Someone took the marker. So as far as I'm concerned, this is where he died. I don't know. Why would they take the marker, somebody? What goofballs. See that? They got concrete path here. So this is definitely, a lot of people came here to see the spot. And look at, there's nothing on here. That's where he passed away. Down this ravine. Yeah, they got a pathway here from where we parked. General Albert Sidney Johnson died April 6th, 1862. Very famous man. Very important man in the Civil War, although he didn't make it out. He can't give his story. You know, he's another one that didn't make it out of a battle to tell his side of the story. Like at Gettysburg, a lot of people didn't make it out of the battle to tell their story. All right, we're gonna go next stop. Okay, this is stop number 18. This is Bell's Farm, or you call it the Peach Orchard. And behind the Peach Orchard is the Cotton Orchard. And early morning of the, well, midday on Sunday, this is where they're fighting. And a lot of guys died here, big time. This was really tough. If you look at the map here, this is where we're at. There's the cotton field, wheat field, and a peach orchard. And Breckinridge with Johnston slammed against Herbert here. About noon to 4 p.m. A lot of fighting. Right here. Now there's some monuments down that way, and there's a little outbuilding there. I don't know what that is. We're not going to walk down there. It's just too much time. This is such a big battlefield. You just can't see it all at one time. I recommend at least 2 days here, and even 2 days ain't enough. So this is Bell's Farm, the wheat field, and the peach orchard. Cotton field, where the Confederates pushed back the United States Army. Okay. Next stop. Okay, we're at stop number 19. This is called Bloody Pond. Of course, when you read about the battle, you know what this place is. This is the Bloody Pond. This is a pond where they came to wash off their wounds and injuries, and the pond turned bloody red during the battle. It's not that far from the last stop, over here. You see, this is where the peach orchard is, that away. And the Bloody Pond is right behind it, right here. That's the Bloody Pond. So this is another landmark to remember. I'm sure when they had reunions, they knew about this. And here's the storyboard here. This was, they got it dated Monday the 7th at 8 a.m. We are here. There's the Bell Farm, the cotton field, Wicker Field. And so the Union Army was going this way, pushing against the Confederate Army that way. And here's the pond, right here. Now, if you want to look how I'm looking, the Confederates were back that way. And the Union Army was back this way. So that's how the battle went. So, give you an idea. It's hard on video. You got to be here to really get the perspective of where they all were standing. Okay, there's some monuments over there. We'll go to the next stop. Okay, we're at stop number 20. This is called Dill Branch Ravine. Right on the river. Here's the Tennessee River, where the gunboats were. This is looking south. And over here is looking north, up the river. Here's the Tennessee. Give you an idea what it looks like. This is a big bluff that they had to climb. Look at that. That was not, there were those rocks, you know, but they put that there to try and save the area. There's some cannon here. The ravine's right straight ahead. And I'll tell you, they have to climb a big hill to get up there to where the battle's at from here. The men. Pretty tough spot. You know, when you're fighting uphill, it's difficult. Okay. Let me show you the storyboard here. But let me show you the ravine. Look at, it's way down there. They had to cross this thing. Look at this. That's down in a hole. And here we are. There's on a map. We were here. This is when they came overnight from the first and second day when they arrived. Buell. Okay. We'll go to the next stop. All right, let me edit this here. This is where the gunboats actually started fighting. All right, right here. But the landing was up a ways. Pittsburgh Landing is where they landed the men. Right there. So that was like a protection of the men landing at night. So, again, this is a little bit farther south on the river than the Pittsburgh Landing is. I got it now. I should have known that. Okay, we'll go to the next stop. Okay, we're at tour stop number 21. You see some cannon here. They were all lined up here above the ravine, so that as the Confederates marched up the ravine this way, Grant's cannons shot down at them and kept them at bay. This was at the end of the first day, the 6th, Sunday. So it's getting dark out too. It was 7 o'clock at night in April. It was starting to get dark. And here we are right here with the cannon. Here's the river right behind us. The ravine is down here. So they're trying to push up and they couldn't. They just couldn't do it. And at the same time, Buell's men was coming. They were landing here. You can see Buell's men landing. So, this is an important spot too. All these spots are very important, but this is a very important. This is at the end of the first day. Well, so the cannons were holding back the Confederates. Buell was coming in, reinforcing Grant, and getting ready for the next day. That's going to be interesting, wouldn't it? I wish I was at least had dinner with one of those guys. Talk about it. Oh well. Okay, this is stop number 22. This is Pittsburgh Landing. This is where Buell's men came off the boats on the river. You can see the river down there straight ahead, down that way. So this is called Pittsburgh Landing. Of course, everybody knows, who has read about the battle knows what this place is. This is where they came across in the boats and landed. See, it's not as steep here. There's kind of a easy way up this way and around to this ridge. They probably reconed it and figured out that's a good spot. Here's the storyboard of Pittsburgh Landing. I think it was already where steamboats landed in the past. Here we are on the Tennessee River. That's where we're staying, in Savannah, Tennessee. So that's it. Interesting place. Beautiful. Well kept too. Beautiful park. Now right over that way, I'm pointing to right now at the camera, is the National Cemetery. And then straight ahead, we're going to head right back to the visitor center. So this is the last stop. But, well, we'll maybe get some bonus videos. We'll see how much time we have. Okay. We'll see you. Okay, here's some bonus footage. This is Pittsburgh Landing. We're able to drive right down here. See how it's easy to get boats into here? I think it was already, if not mistaken, a steamboat dock before the war. And then back over here is the hill they had to climb, which was not, it's steep, but it's not straight up. And then right behind here, straight that away, is the National Cemetery. So I'm going to drive over there too and see what they have. But this is it. I don't know if this wall was here then. I'm not sure, but there's the Tennessee River. It's very quiet today. And, oh, this is, it says U.S. National Cemetery. An act of Congress created this thing. Oh, wow. April 22nd, 1867. 2 years after the war, they created this cemetery. All right. We'll see if we could find some more. There's the way up Pittsburgh Landing. Okay, bonus footage number 2. This is the U.S. National Cemetery. This is the front gate. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? That's the front gate. We're going through. Right over here to my left is the National Park headquarters for the Park Service here. This is the cemetery. Straight ahead. What they did is they buried over 500 of the known U.S. military personnel here that were reburied. They said 2/3 of the dead, they didn't have names on them. They didn't know who they were because no one had dog tags back then. You can hear the birds chirping. Nice quiet place. It's beautiful. It's got nice shade trees. Now right over here to my right is where Grant's headquarters was. You can see the two sets of, well, there's two of them. Cannon here and a cannon there. But this was Grant's headquarters. Of course, that was during the battle. So they have that marked right here. So here it is. This is where Grant had his headquarters. And people who know me know what I think about Grant. I consider him one of the greatest Americans that ever lived. I put him up there with Lincoln and Washington. He's got to be either number 2 or number 3. I put him up there with Lincoln. Almost even. Even Stephen with Lincoln. Start reading about Grant and you'll know what I'm talking about. He was a great man. Everybody who knows me knows that that's the man I follow. That's why we visit Grant sites when we travel. And so here is the cemetery. And the cemetery has on it these markings. All they got is a number. Look at. See, that's 3565. Whatever that means. And then this one here has a stone. I can't read it. Shows someone's name. And this one has a stone. So this is the National Cemetery. It's absolutely beautiful. We're here by ourselves. And then when you look back this way, you'll get a good aspect of where Grant's headquarters was. Now this is right at Pittsburgh Landing. So he's up the hill. His headquarters is up the hill from where Pittsburgh Landing is. I'm going to turn around this way real slow, and I'm going to point to Pittsburgh Landing. You could almost see it straight that way. So he knew what was going on that river at all times. He could ride his horse down there, or he could have men down there looking, bringing him messages. Yep, that's the guy I knew. He was something. Amazing man. Underrated. Very underrated in this country. He was my man. Like I said, I put him up there. Washington, Lincoln, Grant. Or maybe it's Washington, Grant, Lincoln. Pretty close in my book. So this is it. This is the final video of this tour. Part 2 of Shiloh Battlefield. September 26th, 2023. I finally made it here. It took me 30 years. Right behind here is the bookstore, and behind that is the visitor center. So it's all real close here. Alrighty. We'll see ya.